So, guys, welcome again to our podcast, the Reflect, Align, and Thrive podcast. Um, it has been a wonderful journey. We've been talking about issues that concerns life greatly, and it has been a wonderful journey with my brother Sanji. Sanji has been my co-host on this podcast, and well, I'm a coach. My name is Sighmon Team, and he's Sanji. He is a coach, a life coach, a serenity coach, and he's been a monk for over 20 years. He has a wealth of experience. So we're here to cover very strategic topic today, and we're still on the series of addiction. And today we're covering addiction to social media. The social media epidemic, a serious epidemic. So Sanji, welcome.
No, thank you so much. And Simon is a brother to me and a good friend, and we have really regular discussions and all. So it's always a pleasure to be here, Simon. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much. Thank you, Sanji. Thank you. So today, Sanji, we're talking about social media addiction. When we talk about that, what pops up for you? What comes to your mind? What happens?
Mhm. So nowadays they say because of the phones, uh, because those days also they had the phones, right? But
Mhm.
uh, they like especially like when they had this mobile phones. Uh, we didn't see people. Maybe they were texting around, but not so much, right? No, it's like people are just as if they have a phone stuck to their face, no? And now there many things are happening also, and there are even like specified programs for people or like algorithms and all these kind of things. Like and companies are also following up these things, and especially the children or the little children of them all are so glued, and then they know how to operate all these things in a very small time that or age, sorry. That means they were handed over these phones which are actually not good for even adult to keep in a maybe a breast pocket or like even the pants, male or female, because they can end up with cancer even. So think a little child watching these or using these for a long duration of time, they're exposed to even radiation or this microwave uh, s- energies. So it's very, and not only that, there's a big mental aspect that plays on. We'll talk about one on one, but it seems like exactly what you mean. It is supposed to bring happiness and enjoyment for people. Now it has become a epidemic in sense like an addiction, and in
Mm,
schools, even when they go to a restaurant or like even at home, now they have to put on restrictions, and the people are so much not
mm,
connected to each other even in the same family. And we hear like even couples going on a date, and one of the person is either taking photos or like on just on like going on with the phone on and on. So even the
mm,
most valuable moments in life are taken away because of these things.
mm,
And people are like searching validation through this, and they come and tell what they are doing, or their intimate things, the most private things, or the valuable things. And then a lot of people even take advantages of this. So there's a whole big thing. But most of all, like any addiction, there are people who are profiting from this. But the real users, what happens is their situation is degrading. Very rarely one or
mm,
two might get rich, but most of the people they have to spend for their phone, they have to spend for the internet, and all that, and they have to use up their health, energy, capacity, lot of things. So it is not a win-win situation.
mm,
For a very few, it can be just like in any addiction. But here you see, like
mm,
the majority of the people who are addicts, they don't gain anything than like harm, more and more harm. We'll talk about it. It's a great topic
mm,
you selected, especially in this time period,
mm.
Simon.
Well, so I when you said something, you said um, it was supposed to bring joy, now it brings harm. And I wrote, I said it was supposed to bring enrichment, now it brings detriment.
Oh,
It
okay.
was supposed to be a tool, but now
Mm-hmm.
we have become its tool,
Oh, yeah, so right.
right? So instead of us using it, it's now using us. So we're no longer the masters anymore.
Mm-hmm.
It now is our master. It's so crazy, and it's not just everybody, it's including myself.
Mm-hmm.
I have to consciously most times put myself under check, because sometimes I wake up in the morning and the first thing I pick up is my phone, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I used to give the excuse of I want to check this, but the minute I pick my phone, the next thing I'm checking is my WhatsApp message. And I wasn't expecting somebody to write me, I wasn't
Mm-hmm.
expecting a message to come in, but I just check my WhatsApp. And if I see a message, sometimes I don't reply, but I just go and check, right? And it's really sometimes I don't even reply to the messages, but I just
That's
find
what
myself
happens to our
just going
messages,
to
right?
check. Yes. So I see it and I'm like, why did you check at first? But it just feels good to pick it up and check. Did somebody send me a message? Did somebody not send me a message? And now we've become victims of what was supposed to be our enhancement. And
Mm-hmm.
like you said, some people are profiting from it, but the people who are the users, who are on the other
Mm-hmm.
end, it's not really very beneficial. It has its benefits, but at an extreme level, when it becomes an addiction, it's no longer beneficial. We have become slave slaves to the slave master that we buy with our hands. So this is how I describe it. It's like going to the market and saying, I'm putting a chain on your neck, and and then you give somebody the money and say, take my money,
Mm-hmm.
hold the chain, and drag me around. That's how it's looking these days. So my question next is this, Sanji.
Mm-hmm.
What are people truly looking for?
Mm-hmm.
So there's a very funny scenario I had when I was growing
Mm-hmm.
up.
Okay.
So I would sit down. Then it wasn't my mobile phone. It was the television, and I used to stay with my guardian. So in the evening, so at night when everybody's sleeping, I'll be watching film.
Mm-hmm.
And one day, one of my guardian came and he was like, "You are sitting here at 12 a.m., 1 a.m. when you should be sleeping and you're going to school tomorrow, watching what? What are you looking for inside the television?"
Mm-hmm.
This is how he said it. What are you looking for inside the television? Is your life there? You know, it was sarcastic in a way. But I found out that most times when people are so glued and addicted to their mobile device, it's because something is missing. They're either looking for something and they're hiding from something. I
Mm-hmm.
want you to talk a little bit about that.
Okay, so we'll see the reasons why people get so glued up into this. So when you talk of addiction,
Mm,
we can see like there's a behavioral addiction, no? So like anything like it goes excess in use. So in social media also, there's like people tend to have overwhelming usage of it. So what happens is like they spend so much time, energy, like you said, like and even money, right? Even if children are using, they are using their
mm,
parents' money, no? Which they put lot of
mm,
time and energy to and work hard. Even in say, uh, not a very rich family, even their parents work very hard for that, no? Uh, so so we see like in this addiction, we can see like yeah, compulsive use. They like you said, Simon. It's so true. Like people feel the strong urge to check their notifications, not even the whole content. Eh? And
mm.
sometimes you just go scrolling, scrolling, scrolling. You don't know why in the world you are scrolling, even right? Not you. I mean, anybody, no?
Uh,
Uh, so and
yeah.
then post updates, how many likes you get, or then we don't even know. Like how much time you just come to just maybe see something or a message, then you end up using half an hour after that. You get hooked up,
mm,
no? So then, not only
mm,
that, there's like some people use it for mood modification. That's a good thing. Like when you asked, uh, it can bring like a sense of high, because it's stimulant, no, from the sensory doors, the eyes, the ears. You cannot eat or anything like that, but still, you can take a lot of intake from the eyes and the ears. Huh? So likewise, it takes, and some people get a sense of release also, like relief. Sorry, uh, they feel like they are releasing some tension. That's why they start commenting or like arguing on that, uh, or they start trolling or doing things like that. Or some people like they seek validation, no, from society, or the
mm,
excitement or the thrill
mm,
of it. That's why they do these crazy pranks and no stupid things even, like even some which are harmful for people even. And some people want to escape the reality of things. So what happens, they spend more and more time, but that is the idea, like these algorithms and all, they are made in such a way, like they see what you are even typing. We have given them permission, no? And then what happens is
mm,
they start sending the content. Just search something like just random thing and see what happens. Huh? There's a whole bunch of things that start appearing. So the crazy part is, Simon, we'll use this, see this as the benefits. We'll answer your question first. So there are, yeah, like withdrawals, symptoms, conflicts, relapse. So, but the cause of this is why when since you ask, like these design platforms, Simon, they are designed platforms with algorithms built into them. So they want people to stay. So they use a plan. They call it hooking up people. Uh, it's like they put a bait, then they hook up like a fish, and then they know like exactly if this person is involved in within these few seconds. That means they can show more. Uh, but the thing is, like, you
mm,
wonder why, how these companies without they don't charge us for that service, right? Then you wonder like, what is the product? Actually, we are the product that's been sold. You get what I
mm,
mean? Because you
mm,
wonder like, okay, the companies who are sending us all these advertisements and all, they can they can earn something, right? But you want to see like, what
mm,
are these social media platforms, what is their like product? uh, it's us.
mm,
They are selling us our data, all these things. We think, oh, what do we have to
mm,
do? But no, our time and energy and everything, we are spent on it. So we are the actually but things that they are selling. uh, so
mm,
then there's like, one is that reason that people get caught up in it. Other one is like, there's always a thing called it's called FOMO, fear of missing out.
fear of missing,
Missing
fear of
out.
missing out.
Yeah, yeah, like consistent
Mm,
worry about missing out, like social
mm,
interactions or trends or online events. But some we don't even know, no? But still, like, oh, maybe the next one, maybe something else, something nice. uh, it has that kick. We'll talk about that also. Like, and then some people seek social validation in a good way or in a bad way. And some people just come and say like their problems, uh, and then all these people start going in different directions. So sometimes people are even like abused because of that. And then another big reason is, Simon, uh, the dopamine that happens, like any other addiction. Likes, comments can trigger small dopamine releases, which happens like then it affects the behavioral patterns, like reinforcing behavioral patterns. So these kind of reasons keep people really engaged. So they know the psychology of humans. And now it says like at some point they are going to use like even our earbuds. Now, these things become more advanced. So they are even trying to tap in for our thinking process if possible. And then people are wondering like
mm,
why would a earbud which is sound supposed to just give us sound, huh? Or say transmit what we are saying, no? Need so much technology.
mm,
So it's
mm,
evolving, and they so that that's why like even if you search for something good, I mean not the bad stuff, no? Huh? You see that thing appearing everywhere in different platforms and everywhere.
mm.
So
Wow, this
yeah,
is a lot.
recently I searched for something, no? And then like like set of pants, and then everywhere now I go, the pants appear, no? In different platforms, even selling people the same kind of what I searched. It starts appearing even from the websites I didn't even search. I just needed like some work pants when you're and then everywhere I go to even if another site, I get the same line of ads. Uh, I just search, like how is it or what is it made of, no? These kind of things. So you see how it works, right? And then when we
Mm,
are like watching something, or even if you just search something, then whole lineup of things come appear. So even advertisements are also like that. And not only that, for me in some sites, they still have not maybe figured out what I want because I just go there, maybe post our videos and come back. Uh, so they are sending me like different types, different languages. And I like, why are they even sending me this? No? Because if I click on those, I will get a whole lineup of that. So,
mm,
and we have given the already the authority for to check our keyboards, what we are typing, use our mic, switch on the camera and do check our contacts. They can even edit our contacts. So we just accept
mm,
and put a app. uh, but we have already have given, and there was one person who had really gone through the fine details. There's much more details we have already given. And in
mm,
social media, people share everything, no? So, and then the
mm,
company nicely gives all their details to wherever they want. So there's nothing private. And the people who are doing
mm,
that, they are making like their lives very private.
mm,
Especially, I don't want to name anything, but they are building
mm,
mansions and underground mansions and keeping like laws or like even the people who get involved in making their mansions, they have to write like a contract, a disclaim, or like you don't say, what you saw. I don't know. There's a specific name for that. They have to sign those agreements. So they were even questioned in open and courts, like if you are doing this, why are you letting other people's data go out? And it's a multi-million business. Like many big companies are already doing this, Simon. So more people hooked up in it, on it.
mm.
But those are the reasons, like usually people. But please add your research and all the details.
Mm.
Simon, you
So
can.
here's the thing, like you said it rightly. We have become the product, right? Before, I think I was studying something recently about sales, and someone said that before now, companies used to try to study what you need
Mhm,
as a client, as a customer, as a consumer.
mhm,
Companies want to try to study what you need so
mhm,
they can create their product to meet your needs or meet your demands. But
mhm,
these days, companies don't care about that. They create a need and show you that you need what they created.
mhm,
So they create a product and come to you and tell you you have this problem, you need this. And like you said, it's because too much information
mhm,
about us is out there. I said something to someone recently. there's no privacy anymore.
Sure, sure.
I I was searching trying to get a product online. I searched on the platform where you buy the thing, you can make
Mm-hmm.
your orders and stuff like that. Immediately I was done searching for that product. I got the information I needed. The next time when I opened another app, since the day I searched for that product, they've been showing me that same type of
Mm-hmm.
product
Product.
in my other apps. And I'm like, I didn't use this app. I didn't use this app. I
Mm-hmm.
only used the app. Why is it now coming to me and it making me feel you must buy this, you must buy this? And there is there's a thing about um, what you see constantly. You
Mm-hmm.
get addicted and you get very drawn to what you're always seeing. And most of the social media platforms, they want to put things in your face every time for you to keep seeing it so you get drawn to it. If you check most of the social media these days, the minute you finish watching one video, there's the next video. The minute you finish watching that video, there's the next video. And that way, you're not able to decide because you are already drawn. And and there's something I've noticed, Sanji. These social media platforms, especially those ones that has a lot of video content,
Mm-hmm.
they something happens. And you talked about dopamine. There is a very quick switch in emotion. Sometimes in just 15 minutes or 5 minutes, you
Mm-hmm.
felt like 5 to 6 different emotions. You felt sadness, you felt
Mm-hmm.
happiness, you felt extreme sadness, you felt extreme happiness. So your brain is so drawn to it because you
Mm-hmm.
are having too many excitement at the same time. It makes plan what you don't get just being alone. So if you look at the emotional factor, so it's not just psychological. There's the emotional
Mm-hmm.
factor about it. There's the feel good thing you get when you're working or when you're staying on the social media. And then there's a psychological factor that affects your concentration span. Your 5 minutes now, they made it so short. Sandy, sometimes you have videos of 30 seconds. 30
Mm-hmm.
seconds you
Yeah,
watch
yeah.
something, another 30, and you think time is not going, or you calculate 30 seconds into 50, then 30 seconds into
Mm-hmm.
100, and you find out you spent 6 hours on social media doing nothing. And when you're on the bus, you see people with their phone, everybody's scrolling, looking at their phone, like they're scrolling through something, looking for something that's not looking for them. It's a lot to take in.
Mm-hmm.
And we have become absolutely the product.
Mm-hmm.
And I think it becomes stronger because we talked about what are people looking for. Now let's come back and say, what are people hiding from?
Mm-hmm.
Because you want to go feel good on social media because you don't feel good in your real life.
Mm-hmm.
You
Yeah.
want to escape to social media because you feel caged in your real life.
Mm-hmm.
You want to send a chat on social media because you don't have someone to speak to in real life. You
Mm-hmm.
want, you- I don't know, this used to happen to me. Whenever I make a post, I want to go check it every time to see, did somebody like it? Did somebody see it? How
Mm-hmm.
many reach
Yeah,
did
yeah.
I get? How many reach did I not get? And my my VA, she had to tell me. She said, you've made a post. Don't worry about it. It will do well if it's gonna do well. Are you sure the post you made? You want to make business? Then don't worry about it. And that taught me something that, oh really? So I've been really worrying about how people see my post, what people say about the post, who is liking the post, who is not liking the post, who is commenting, who is not commenting. And when none of this happens the way I want them to do, I feel bad. But I could call myself to order, but most people can't. So Sanjay, what is it that people are hiding from?
Mm-hmm.
What are they hiding from that is making us more glued to social media? What are we missing?
Mm-hmm.
What are we really deep down? Why do we need so much dopamine?
Because we are hiding, trying to hide from reality. That's why we seek something in a virtual reality. Like there were games built in sometime, no? So you can be any character you wish, and you can create that character and live that character, or fantasize, or try to make your fantasies true, no? But it's in virtual reality. You don't have to work for it. You don't have to. Maybe you need to spend some money towards that, but not so much in as reality. So you can
mm,
hide from reality, and that's why they sometimes call these people like keyboard warriors. They are keyboard warriors, like so
mm,
because like they behind the keyboard you can be a superhero, right? Uh,
mm,
Male,
mm,
female,
mm,
anybody. I mean, but in reality, uh, maybe they don't step out of the house. They have the ideas,
mm,
everything about everything. Or there are people who just comment and like destroy or even stalk and harass other people on the
mm.
online. It's a crime now. And then people who
Yeah.
are doing all these very crazy things, no, even like sickening things online. So yeah, it's a I there's a very special person who is like I cannot remember his name, Simon, but he had seen like very innocent sites, uh, but they are full of people who take advantage of children, and sometimes they don't even care. They put it more openly. Yeah. So he specifically,
Oh.
you can see like short videos of him and all, and he says like, as a parent, please be careful. Uh, because they just and he had found so many sites like that which give access to young children. Uh,
Mm,
but there are plenty of people who, even their names sound like that, but openly also they've used like that. So he advised always like parents, please see what your children is using. It's not just the normal social media, but within that also there are plenty of people who are coming in disguise, no? Uh, so
mm,
so coming back to the question, Simon, yeah, I think many people, in a way, it's sad because some for some reason, some people, even their most innocent things they want in life, it seems bit far, or not yet happening.
mm,
But the worst is like
mm.
when they try to seek something which is unrealistic, they get caught up in that trap. So it is like, like I
Mm,
have heard, like when people sell drugs, they have different qualities, right? And then these drugs, I saw documentaries and I watched these kind of things also. Or you get to know and like talk to people who are in addictions and these kind of things, no? So then they have their
mm,
categories, it seems. So the people in the high above places, they kind of like get the original product. I'm not telling it's good or anything, but it kills them
yeah.
much lower than the person down the order. But on the streets, the same kind of drug is mixed with like even rat poison, baking soda to increase the
Mm,
quantity, which is like few
mm,
milligrams actually, and sold separately. But these people, the death rate and all is very high. So in many countries, you can see this. So likewise, this social media and these things are like the addiction or the drugs that are given to the poor people. Other
mm,
people have different addictions or things they can spend their money and all, but this is like an innocent
mm,
child or somebody, or maybe a person who doesn't have much wealth, but it's draining their money, maybe mobile card, no, what they use,
mm,
and they're showing like a mirage of things that can be done, uh, and but they for that moment it seems like they're trying to relive it, but it's not a true thing, right? Uh,
mm.
so for example, now even there it seems like you can have you like a virtual partner, and they say like
Yeah.
yeah, I will do anything for you, no, I'm not like a real person. I don't complain if it's for guys, like I won't complain. Uh, and then I'm not like a real human. You can tell me anything, you can do anything with me. Come on, right? and then they are taking away the human side of us even, no? Yeah. This is just ad. These are just ads. So what if, like, if a person jumps into the real thing, no, maybe paid, I don't know. Yeah. So then your mind gets so caught up. There are some countries, Simon, like the whole generation of it, like teenagers and above, young adults, they don't want. This is like advanced countries or first world countries. They don't want to have proper relationship. They are caught in these figures or characters, and they have like sexual content, videos, and these things of those characters. So they can use the goggles and everything and go into
Mm,
virtual reality, and they are obsessed, and there are shops and companies now on this thing only. So they don't want any connection with a real human. They are so caught up. So this is a whole generation of
mm,
young people. So it seems like they are trying to sell something in the most lowest grade, and like like a person in some kind of very cheap kind of drugs, no? But it's highly toxic. It kills these people
mm,
very fast than the people who are using the original product also. Either way, it's harmful,
mm.
but this is the kind of the worst kind of thing, and it gives a sense of living that what they seek, but the craving never stops, no? And what if they are seeking something like very crooked thing in their life, all the fantasies and all, then they can go out and try to live that in reality, no? So it seems like a very cheap product is given, and all the wealth and all the things is drained out of that person, Simon. It's
Mm.
more serious than it sounds, no?
So this there's something you said that really struck, that really got to me, and where you talk about it's like drugs for the poor, social media being like drugs for the poor people,
Mm,
people who have dreams, ambition, but can't reach it. So social media seems to kind of like bring them closer to their dreams, and it's easier to get addicted to something that looks like where you want to be, that you're not yet.
mm,
So virtual realities and all that kind of like brings you closer. There's certain people who want to go to foreign countries, and there are certain virtual reality games that you play, and you see yourself in the US, and you've never been to the US, and virtual reality feels like it's real, and you want to be there, or you on social media and you see somebody who is living the kind of lifestyle you want to go live, or you want to live, and instead of sitting down to build your life, you find out that you are so glued to these people. You feel like you're living that life, but it's not true, it's not real, it's not your reality, it's not
mm,
your life. And I see this stemming back to the need, some sort of need for validation. What do I mean? Now, because people want a certain kind of life and they can't have it, they like to get some certain level of validation from people who look like where they are going to, or where they want to get to, right? And this need for validation keep people glued. There was a time where
mm.
people died because of one social media platform. They didn't get enough likes
Oh,
or love signs. People
mm,
committed suicide.
you said.
This is a big disconnect.
Mm, mm, mm,
You also talk about disconnection. We are every day disconnecting from reality or real life. Let me let's not just use reality. We
mm,
are every day disconnecting from real life. People no longer have the resolve to go through difficult.
mm,
So any little thing they want to run, and go to a place where there's no difficulty, and most times it's either social media or their virtual reality. And then there's the need of validation. So there's two problems:
Mm-hmm.
disconnection from reality because of the toughness or the lack of strength to face the toughness of life, and then there is the need for validation. Let's talk about these two things.
Mm-hmm.
When we talk about this disconnection, what is happening? Why are we more disconnected from reality every day? Why don't we want to have real life conversation? What happened to all these values?
Mm-hmm.
And also, why is the need for validation so high right now? Everybody wants validation. Even the people who are rich, they want to be validated. Why? What is going on?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it seems like people are taken advantages of their innocence, because some child or young as a person, no, they genuinely they want to seek something, no, but now it's gone in a such a way that it's marketed. You can use social media for good things, but no, and
Mm,
you can learn if you want, but the thing is, like, within that system there is something more darker that's happening. So just think, like, why do they
mm,
hire all these celebrities, no, or so-called celebrities, and they
mm,
show a specific walk of life, eh, all the way. Maybe like they have found even Simon, like, why like so violence in some societies. I don't want to mention. The young people are now questioning, why are we
mm,
always seeing like people like in hi-fi cars, with male or female, like lot of people around them, and then with the guns and the big
mm,
chains and all, and they always talk about violence, gang violence and all these things,
mm,
and in their music and everywhere. So you see, their like societies or cultures also changing because of that. Young people gang up and they have their own weapons, uh, and it becomes a lot of violence, no? So there is a way, like, you can even, there are some countries, like, to their own country they don't show these things, but for the other country, through that specific app and all, they show things. But when you see their country, I'm not naming anything, uh, but they show their children like how to be educated, how to become a good person, what are the skills you can do,
mm,
what are your like good people in your country. But the other people, like, it's like so ridiculous things, like just going on and on and on and on. And actually some children, they have lost the capacity of their memory power even, and this in some countries
mm,
it had become like a psychological disorder now, and even the teachers, they have to cater for this. So they are like putting that kind of time frames, a few seconds, saying that this is the average attention span of a child now, which is like a college
mm,
or bigger student, no? It's
mm,
the opposite of what you need, right? We need people to get more focused and stay, and the capacity to grow more, not reduce little by little, no? So Simon, since the
mm,
time this all this equipment and things came, even the books itself, humanity actually had something lacking. Uh, so more we rely on books, our internal memory is reduced because we think, okay, it's in the book, right? Now it's more after the computers and all came, we say, okay, you can just, now we have the internet also now. You just type in, all the data comes. But we don't have it right with us. Those days, the people could memorize all these things. They knew, and they knew much, much more, right? And it's not like, so I'm telling is like more we get weaker within that system, like people can be very manipulative, and then they can twist and turn, and then you can guide people in specific directions, huh? That like and they are profiting from it. They can use any sinister thing or people inside that, if they're with bad intentions, they can slowly like twist everything in a wrong direction, because now people are addicted. They just have to change the flow in some specific direction. So it's not just like this is one like broadcast and then you see it and then it's done. It's not the person who's now, it had gone beyond the stage like we are individually addicted. It is making, and they are finding better ways of making people addicted. Because there's much more use of that, right? And they can implant ideas, they can make problems in countries. Lot of things can be done. Uh, so in a way, like so in a way, like children and all, like they can have the innocent dreams and all. But something else is put upon them and showing, like making them idealize on that. Oh, this is the way you should live. If you do
mm,
these things, this you can go. Yeah, your self-respect, dignity, all can go down the drain. But if you do these kind of things, or if you
mm,
hang out with these kind of people, you can reach the top. But very few do, even
mm,
in the worst of ways, right? No, just other
mm,
people just get used up and just discarded. No, so
mm,
there is a way like that also. These things happen, Simon.
mm. And it's so true because the way you put it, it made me want to ask a very I've been asking this question, and this is not about conspiracy theory or anything.
Sure, sure.
We're trying to solve real life challenges, and I'm not saying that I'm free of this particular one. I catch myself, and that's
Mm,
because I live more purposefully, right? So I feel like, oh, there's a lot to do because I have something to do. I shouldn't be wasting this time. But some people don't have too much they're doing. So they have a lot of time to spare and they don't have the control to discipline themselves and say, I'm not going to do this, I'm not going to do that. My question, it feels, okay, it feels like we're being programmed.
mhm,
Really, that's how I see it.
mhm, mhm,
It's all like being programmed every time.
mhm,
And most times, like where you started talking about the children and the fact that a child is born. And instead of spending time with the child, instead of giving the child attention, you
mhm,
give the child a tablet,
mhm,
right? Now the child is used to cartoons instead of reading, right?
mhm,
Now the child knows everything about the tablet instead of
mhm,
life. No culture, no values, no
mhm,
nothing, more tablets, more social media and everything. Now that is programming the child.
mhm,
And for us adults, by seeing things repeatedly every time, you see one post, you see another post, you see one talk, you see another talk. Now, Sanjay, I like to share this with you. All right.
mhm. Sure.
There was a time in my country, in Nigeria, right, where there was a high level. In fact, it's still there, right?
Mhm,
There's a high level of divorce.
mhm,
There's a high level of divorce.
mhm,
Before this time, we didn't used to have that. We used to have people who have strong values and say if things are not working, you fix things up in your relationship, you fix things up with your partner, and you can work things out no matter what is going wrong. That is how we grew up. But right now, you have on social media everybody saying he does wrong, let him go. He does that, let him go.
mhm,
A man is not truthful. A woman, you can't believe a woman. Now that's the narrative we get every day,
mhm,
and it begins to create a reprogramming.
mhm,
And when you see your partner do something, because you spend a lot of time there, and you spend a lot of time until you begin to believe what is being said. And the minute you start believing it, when you see a little action that looks like what you now believe, right, you take
mhm.
action or you react to it based on the information. So it's like a reprogramming. And that brings me, who is programming us?
Uh-huh. So yeah,
Who?
yeah. So Simon, in television also they said like programs, no programs.
Exactly.
See,
Programs.
even the word. So these people have a way of showing it right in front of our eyes. They call in blind
Mm,
sight, right? So they even
mm,
use those terms. It's called program. You are watching a program, right? So I also
Hmm.
don't want to be like a conspiracy theorist, but this is how it is, right? Huh? So
Yeah.
even in the sales market or sales, huh, they show some product no consistently. They show it again and again, again. Sometimes in like great like big to events, they show ad for like a very small time, split of a second. Then people like, what was that? They look more even it seems. So they use different strategies from coming down like up and every time showing using like people who are famous or popular, all these things. So they imprint it, and then when we go to the stores or anything, even if it's like very rural place, we our natural tendency to go to a product we know, maybe that in a local area that product is 100% better, but we don't know. Because then we go to something even if it's bad, we think at least they say some crazy word like the devil that you know is better than the devil you don't know. But it's a crazy thing, no? Both are devils, right? so so they say there's in a way of like escaping the reality in some languages. Huh? But come on, both are the same. No, no difference, right? So when you are
Hmm.
like put into that, that's why they have these all these big billboards and all. But now they have a better tool because everybody's already carrying it. The TV you cannot carry it
Hmm.
around. No? People will think you're crazy. But they put it in cars, no? Places. Like, but that is also too much. But here you are always carrying it, and not only that, you are charging it. You are taking care of it. You pay for it and do everything that needs. They just have to put the data in. So we do like maybe like 90% or 80% to be self brainwashed. We make that platform, we
Hmm.
keep the space. Like you said, like we go to with a chain and say like, hey, sell me, no? And so we make everything ready, and we are just waiting till for the data to come, no? The things to so they find it okay. Now everything is set. We can pitch in anything we want. So yeah, surely, like then even societies or anything can be programmed in any way. Then the moral ethics or things like that that should be done or taught. So it's a very easy way of manipulation for anybody. And there are people like I saw it's very disgusting, and their characters and all are not at good at all, but they give like life lessons. And you see them talking harsh, very horrible language, and the way they behave. They are like overnight celebrities. Huh? But they are like giving life guidance or for people. Maybe they have a business, even I don't know. But so they are using these people as such. So in any way, in a business format or any other way, or even in a sinister way, that's what cults do, right? They take a bunch of people,
Hmm.
then they like say the same things again and again and again. These some dictators used to do, right? Or they used to say the same thing again and again from radio or TV or something, and people always hear this about fear or some other group that is against you, or they are bad, or like terrorists. These people are terrorists. Then even if you have never met them in your life, you just even if you see somebody or hear something, oh, like that thing comes out, right? So this can be used like in different ways. Like so, if it's given for children, my goodness, they are like empty canvas, no, or a blank page.
Hmm.
So they can be
Hmm.
so easily influenced in any way. So that's why like we had to help them to come to in a proper way. But if all this trash is put upon them, surely they'll be like uh, those days they used to just put like in some childcare centers, they used to just put like movies and put it in high volume. So the children they don't even see because these are infants, right? They are like upwards, but that sound waves and all over the sound keeps them involved, and then they just stay in one place it seems. But it's very damaging. But nowadays they see it, they have it and everything. They can even select, but the selections are almost the same, right? Or what the feed gives
mm,
them is the same, no? So then
mm,
think like when they are growing up, when their hormones and everything start working, or
mm,
anger issues and these things that should be looked upon. So yes, Simon, like it can be from any direction, politically, in like a sales perspective, big companies, they can twist and turn anything now because we are from generation to generation, like this thing had been going on. So then it's more and more easy, because the next generation will be more, the devices and everything are already there, and the children are even handed
mm,
them over at a very small age.
mm.
There's nobody to like
Wow.
to take care of what they are looking or anything. We don't know. So what if they sneak in some dirty ad or something? What if they click on it? They just have just a
Mm,
click away, right? There are these
mm,
ads called pop-up ads and all, pornography or anything. No, anything can appear, right? And they just click on that because they are curious, no? So just a click away from anything, and even the parents don't know
mm,
even.
mm. Wow. So I hear you, Sanjay.
Mm,
You answered my question. Obviously, we're being programmed.
mm,
We are being programmed. We're being programmed to act in a certain way. We are being programmed to react in a certain way. We are being programmed to think in a certain way. And to the question of who is programming us, anybody,
mm,
various people are programming us. Business people are programming us to buy their product. Dubious people are programming us to make us their victims.
mm,
But in all, what I want to say is you have the power. We have the power. So
mm,
that we don't end up with the description I gave where we put the chain on our neck
mm,
and take ourselves to the market, pay the slave master and give him the chain and say, take money, take the chain, drag us, use us. So we don't do that. You have to understand as an individual, we have the power, right? And I think that's another narrative that is not every day uh, out there. It's not always out there. People do not really realize how much power they have over these addictive behaviors. They feel disarmed, they feel empty, they feel like they are glued to it. You have an option. That's what we are seeing in this program.
mm,
You have an option. If only you can sit down, take a minute to reflect, right? You find that you have more options than you think you have, right? If you could just take a minute to reflect, realign yourself, it's only a matter of time you begin to thrive. And that's why we have this program here to help you reflect, to help you realign or align, and then to help you thrive. Sanjay, in talking about, as we finish today, in talking about the disconnection, which is one of the major problems we have, how do we fix this disconnection? And majorly, it's not even disconnection with other people, it's majorly the disconnection within ourselves,
mm,
disconnection from ourselves, disconnection from our purpose, disconnection from the meaning of life to us. How
mm,
do we fix this disconnection so that we can love ourselves more? Because I believe if you love yourself more, you wouldn't have to be spend time too much time on social media. If
mm,
you have a purpose in something you're pursuing, you won't be too much on social media. Even when you're there, it's strictly for business or for work.
mm.
How do we create more connection with ourselves?
Yeah, yeah. I'll just give you example, Simon, and I'll just say like first we talk a little bit about the things that really happen to people. I remember when we were going to like very long retreats. So we were in another country actually, and there was something happening in our country. So, but
Mm,
I was like the uh, senior person there. So uh, some even if people came there to that center, I had to look and try to help them, or if something messages came from our country. So in the phone, like there's that on top. and just line up. So I would just, because I knew like if I go into these things, like I cannot, it's too much. So I would just like put it down and just go through the messages, no? If there's just to see if there was a message from somebody, because from emails and a lot of things, it comes, no, the top bar. And then when I sat for meditation, my goodness, I felt like the mind was very gloomy and dark.
mm,
But I didn't know for what reason. I didn't even watch nothing, anything. I just went to see whether I have just messages. You know what? With that very small time duration, the mind catches even the small headings. Oh, there was some problem in here. There was accident here. Then this thing. So just think, I was thinking like, my goodness, like if that for that small time, I was not even searching for those, no? Uh, and then when I went through it and I had a glance of it, the mind could catch even those subtle things. So later, when I try to like have a clear mind, no, it was very dark and gloomy, and I felt very heavy and so kind of
mm,
like sad, but I didn't know the reason even. So think of a person who's like really going scrolling and watching these things, how much impact it could have towards the mind. So we'll just mention a couple of like things that can really be damaging and get back to your question, Simon. Just give me a moment. So yeah, poor mental health, anxiety, depression, sleep disturbances, reducing productivity, relationship problems, and low self-esteem. So likewise, so even mental health issues you can see like anxiety, depression. So we think it's the opposite. No, people become happy and that, but it's actually uh, the content. No, constant comparison with others,
mm,
exposure to uh,
mm,
idealization. Then the content can even worsen the feelings of anxiety and depression or inadequacy.
mm,
When they see another person, a person
mm,
who feels bad about themselves, they can compare, right? And they feel very horrible about themselves. Huh? And then attention problems for sure. It's like a consistent
yeah,
reduction of attention span. So think what will happen for the children, right? Generation after generation.
mm,
And sleep disturbances, late night scrolling, consistent notifications. It brings like huge damage to the sleep patterns. Then mood disorders, sleep fatigue, these things happen. Then see like the emotional impact, like low self-esteem, because you see like all these people, no, like
yeah,
gods and goddesses, like there with for all their makeup and luxuries and everything, and you see like yourself, right? When you come back to reality, no,
yeah,
because you cannot
yeah,
stay there forever,
yeah,
no. So then you feel self-worth, and people even take their own lives. Uh,
yeah,
and the fear, consistent fear, that is also fear, like you think you'll miss out something. Those days it
mm,
was for some sales or something like deals or something, but now it's so crazy. Just some kind of like notification that also has degraded. And the social effects, it can lead you to isolation because you are stuck. I know some country, those people are brilliant and they work very hard, Simon. But all of them, like most of them, when they get their short break, all of them are just glued to their mobile devices or yeah, like phones and tabs, it seems. Then they start like working like machines again.
mm,
Within that break, they eat something, and while they are
mm,
eating, or like when they are doing, they're just stuck with that. So they watch drama or anything that can, or whatever they like, but they are not even talking to another human being. Huh? So people who are reading books, and they are rare now, right? You see all these people on their mobile devices now. So isolation is one, even in a young person, like, and communication issues, the social skills and everything, and like you mentioned, Simon, like face to face interactions, no. They become very difficult to have. And what about the physical? No, uh, they can have like from poor posture, chronic health issues, eye strain, headaches, migraines, and definitely productivity loss. The constant distractions of social media, because you can just get stuck, no? And it seems very easy and
mm,
pleasurable, without having to work hard or do something about your life or studies or even work.
yeah,
You can just go on scrolling and scrolling, no? But at the end of it, you feel very tired. So actually, Simon, there are things called uh, social media detoxifications. Really, social
mm,
media fasting. Now, as if some toxin had gone into you and you want to throw it out, no, put it out. Or like fasting, you stop yourself from doing it, but it's so addictive, no? People cannot even now wait without they feel like so boring. Or if even if the electricity goes, or like the signal jamming or something happens, they are so upset. So now in some countries, there are pepper
yeah,
shakers or salt shakers with a mobile signal jamming device inside, because yeah, really it happened sometime back. The pepper shaker or like the salt they put, no, this has inside that a mobile signal jamming, because all the kids, sometimes the parents or one of the parents are always on their device. They don't talk with each other. And some restaurants and all, they have, like you see these children complaining also. You you have to put your mobile and somebody locks it on the table itself.
mm,
Uh, or if
mm,
you're using it, you are penalized.
mm,
So you have to force people to, and then they improve the applications, then they reduce the space, then you have to buy a new mobile every year or so, or new
mm,
applications each upload, sorry, download, update. eh? So it becomes bigger and bigger, so your phone memory and it's not enough. So there are many businesses thriving from this, not only just social
mm,
media, no. And the space
mm,
and the memory, if even if you use app to remove that data, it doesn't just go. You have to creep into
yeah,
the app and then only remove that data also. Even the
mm,
cache memory, it's a lot in social medias and all, just see. And the worst thing is like, you put your life, you put lot of effort, right? The true people even. But now they also have to go and do this crazy game, right? Uh, we were telling like these ancient, luckily ancient spiritual readers or people, good people, they didn't have to go dance around to get people, no.
mm,
Those days people used to come search of them. But now 10, 20, 30 years you can spend on some field, giving all your life to that, but still you have to go and put this dance, no. Other people, that also you have to do, it becomes more and more. So there are more, you need the lighting properly, the cameras properly, no, and mics properly, all these things. So that becomes more businesses. Then you have to compete with each other. They find different alternative ways. Some, there are even paid ways you can get followers and all these things. So some high ranking people, they buy millions of likes, all these things, because they can afford it. But a true person maybe who's doing that, they cannot do, no. And with good content also, they sometimes they have very little reach, or you have to
yeah,
start an ad campaign. Huh?
yeah,
So
yeah,
let's go to what you mentioned, Simon. Uh, yeah, we can surely do things like, when you talk about detoxing, or like fasting from social media, set clear
mhm,
boundaries, time limits, schedule check-ins,
mm,
and like even no phone zones, even in bedrooms, dining
mm,
area, study, workplaces. That's one thing we can
mm,
do. And then we can
mm,
change the environment, like turn off notifications, move apps,
mm,
remove, and then You can use your phone. There are even I saw, Simon, specific phones with the uh, apps don't have colors, so they are
Yeah,
less appealing. There are even now new types of
yeah,
fonts made like this. So they even put the colors and to make it more appealing even. And then they say like use
mm,
technology to fight technology, like blockers, app alternatives that
yeah,
pump in like
yeah,
tons of information, and keep your mind like flooded, no? Or you can use
mm,
books, meditation, podcast, even things like that. And you can use specific app controls. You can
mm,
unfollow, you can mute, uh, and you can even make your account private if needed, or lock your account. You can do so many things as parents. I think definitely you have to check on your children what they are doing.
mm,
And we can use like mindfulness, well-being practices to track our. Uh, there are good apps that really can help also to calm the mind. There are no. We have to seek those and use, and then we can track our emotions, how we are feeling. This is really worth it. Is it valuable?
mm,
Just waste of time.
mm,
And we can
mm,
find something like offline happiness, like exercise, sports, volunteering, reading, being with each other, no,
mm,
connecting with real humans. Because I saw like even joke things like they were like it was a cartoon. It was like just maybe the parents and coming to the funeral maybe, and it says like for the number of followers this person had, it cannot imagine this whole place is empty. So these are these are like not true connections, no, most of them. Very few are like really legit and proper true people. And we can seek support, like talk to friends, family, and let them know like you're reducing the usage. Then there are, now it's so bad, like there are supportive communities. And
mm.
now it had gone to a stage where people even need therapy. So
Yeah, true.
yeah, yeah. So it is epidemic itself, huh?
Yeah, wow. I like the fact that you mentioned every strategic thing needed. And in talking about being more connected to oneself, one thing I think people need to do is they need to become more aware that there are
Mm,
spirits that live in a body, not the other way around. The spirits that have bodies, they live in a body. They're not like bodies that have a spirit. It's not that way. Because when you understand that, oh, I'm a spirit that lives in a body, you want to be more cautious with what you feed your spirit. You want to be more cautious with, oh, yes, there is the part of gratification, but immediate gratification, only fun is not all there is to life. Fun is good. It's a good thing. We should have fun, an amazing thing. But we're here to live purposefully. And when we are more purpose driven and we begin to say, oh, you know what, I have a goal that I'm trying to achieve, and that way it will help you minimize your usage of social media. I use social media, but I'm more careful where I'm using social media. I use social media for my business, which is a good thing.
mm,
Sometimes I get overboard and I'm a bit addicted, but I catch myself because I remember, you know what, you were here to do something related to
mm,
work, related to business, or to give value. So that way it helps me manage, and because I am purpose driven. So the more purposeful we become, the more we feel more connected to ourselves, the more self aware we become, and the less addicted to these things we will be. And to parents, you have to help your children.
mm,
Help them, give them the right values, the right culture. Don't just bring the internet and iPads to them. It's not a bad thing for them to have iPads. You have to put some
mm,
sort of control around it. If you have it, you have to help the children because we shape the generation by the things we give the generation access to. We'll be continuing next session, but right now we want to move in. Sanjay, what simple practice can we use to get to be more connected, to be more conscious, to be more aware of ourselves, and feel less disconnected and then less addicted at the end of the day to social media or the
Mhm.
internet.
Yeah, usually mindfulness practices, Simon. Mindfulness can be a great thing. Like we talk about this, no, like big taskers or elephant's footprint.
Mm,
Everything, all
mm,
the other animals' footprints can be put into that. So likewise,
mm.
mindfulness covers, like it shows which is good, which is bad, which is wholesome, which is unwholesome. Is it suitable, not suitable? Is it a waste of time? This is all under the topic of mindfulness. Is it wholesome? What is it doing to me? What kind of emotion is it triggering? Am I happy? Even am I addicted or not? Not in denial, but if you really check, we will see, like what is really happening with me. Why am I spending so much time? Why can I do something else? Is it this a reality? So all things like applied in mindfulness, because you want to cross the road, you need mindfulness. No others, you go somewhere else, or you get stuck by a car or something, no, or you'll bump on
Yeah,
the
yeah,
uh, pedestrian or somebody, right? Uh, so
yeah.
everything in mindfulness covers all these aspects. So we can see what is really useful, what is not. Is it worth it? That doesn't mean people cannot have fun. They should live some gloomy life or something. No, not that. But this is not true, and it's not usually benefiting. Uh
So, Sanjay, do you mind taking us through the mindfulness practice?
huh.
Something very simple, something that we can easily practice on a daily basis. Because
Mm,
people say things, one of the other epidemic we have is the epidemic of I don't have time. I'm
mm,
very busy. I don't
mm,
have time. There's no time for this. But when you check it, they're not doing anything. It's another
mm,
sort of epidemic. It's the answer
mm.
we give. It's like an excuse we give
Uh-huh.
to run away from things. I don't have the time for this. I don't have the time for this. You have a lot of time, but you're not using it.
Mm,
It's crazy. So let's help the people
mm,
who don't have time and the people who have time and say they don't have time in
mm.
order to help them manage their time and their space. What little practice can we do that
Sure.
they can practice from there? Something simple and sure.
Okay, yeah, let's try to do it practically. Okay, yeah, if you want to relax a bit, if you want to stand up or drink some water, please be free to do so. And you can even lean against something or lay down, anyway that's comfortable for you. And if you want, you can stand up and say it, loosen up your body, uh, and just try to loosen up. Take a few deep breaths and try to place your body in the most comfortable of positions. Try to place your body in the most comfortable of positions. And even the fabric of your clothing, if you need to adjust it, please adjust. If you need, just see with it. Sometimes when you sit for some time, the creases of your clothing also, you feel them more strongly. But see how it goes. So if the body is relaxed, the mind can start relaxing. And when the mind is relaxed, it's totally, the body becomes fully relaxed. So we can see here, without spending a cent or anything, we can have happiness and peace. And you don't have to spend hours or equipment or anything for this podcast or webinar. We are using internet and all, but after we learn it, we can do any place, anytime, any age, any walk of life, and you don't need any external thing. So just feel your surroundings. in the vicinity of you, like the proximity of yours. Just see what you feel. Anything doesn't matter. We don't categorize, we don't try to judge. Even if it's like sounds of vehicles, doesn't matter. Don't be specific. Just consider it as a sound. According to day or night, we can hear different sounds. If it's raining, if it's windy, those natural sounds are much better actually. But what to do? That is how it is. And this is not some kind of big activity we are trying to do. It's a very simple thing. Actually, we reduce like hundreds of times what we are doing naturally, normally. Sorry. So that gives a sense of relaxation. Not a sense, actually, a reality of relaxation. And just be without getting caught up in some virtual reality or imaginary scenario. Just see what you hear or feel, even. It could be heat, even, doesn't matter. It could be the wind, it could be the sound, or just the air around you, maybe lightly touching the surface of your body. Now, slowly move to the area of your body and see what kind of sensations do you feel on the body. Maybe it's hot, maybe it's cold, maybe you feel light, maybe you feel heavy, maybe you just feel the touch of the clothing. Doesn't matter. Just be there without getting involved and just see how what you feel, what comes to you, what kind of sensations happen. And if possible, now slowly take a few intentional breaths, but very slowly. From the nostrils, if you want, use your mouth to release, but very slowly. And just see how it feels. Breathing in slowly and breathing out slowly. Or if you want, just put the exhale from the nostrils even. Doesn't matter. And just see how it feels. Now, slowly take your attention from the top part of your body and slowly move from the top of your head. Just see what you feel. Could be sensations, or they are called elements, or the characteristics of elements like heaviness, softness, lightness, roughness, smoothness. Then slowly move down to your forehead region and all around that area. Just stay there and see. When the attention to these areas, it starts, there's this difference that happens, but the most of all, it sharpens the mindfulness and brings you back to reality. Then slowly move down to maybe your face area and all around it. Just see how you feel. Just see how you feel. Then slowly move down to your face region and all around the back of the head. Then your neck and around that area. Then the shoulders. Just see what you feel. And if you can, just loosen up more even. Letting go and releasing. Please, we are just trying to remove what is not true at that moment. And just see what is naturally happening there. And then slowly to your chest region, upper part of your arms, the upper back. Then slowly moving down to the abdomen, the middle part of your arms, the lower back, and just see the lower part of your body also. The front side, the back, behind side, the palms of your hands. If they are rested on your thighs, check upon the thighs also, or the knees. Then the middle part of your legs, the ankles, then the feet of both the legs. And you can come back from below also, the feet, the ankles, the middle part of the legs, the knees, the thighs, maybe your palms, then the upper regions, and then slowly the abdomen and lower back, the middle part of your arms, then the chest area, the upper part of your arms, then the shoulders, the neck area, front and back, then slowly to the mouth, the chin, all the way around, and then more upper, the mouth, the teeth, and slowly moving upwards to the eyes and all around the ears, the back of the head, then the forehead region, the upper part of the head, all the way right up to the top. Just know here and now how it is. Now just see how your whole body feels. Keep the awareness going, the mindfulness going, happening. Now, one of the best ways is the breath. Slowly move to your breath. It's a very sharp and powerful object. It's like sharpening a knife or a tool to a very superb edge, removing all the rust. So slowly focus on the breath. You can slowly focus on the natural breath reaching the nostrils and going out of the nostrils. One of the best ways of increasing mindfulness is the breath. Very simple. And everybody breathes until they have some difficulty. So it's always there. And you don't need special equipment or anything. You just use this. But if you use more and more time towards it, 5 minutes, 10 minutes, 15, the results or the benefits are quicker. And you have to use a consistent. People can scroll on their devices and spend like hours on, or at least half an hour. Why not? They can do something without even paying or using any equipment or not needing any equipment, just for 5 minutes, 10 minutes, even more, which is physically and mentally very healthy. And this is a wholesome object. That's why we don't feel pain or tiredness. Every time unwholesome objects causes tiredness or pain, or the mind is disrupted, agitated, anxious. But this doesn't never make that kind of, it settles the mind. Just try to keep your attention on the breath. If you want, use like 2 words: in breath, out breath, in any language you prefer. So it's simple as that. Then you can focus on the body, even outside, anything just to increase the mindfulness. Mindfulness is a great tool on sensations or anything and how you feel of your tiredness level, or after doing something how you feel, and even to have good responses to check anything. You have to make it sharp, and others it get rusted, just like any other tool. Even if it's a knife, if you just leave it, it gets rusted, and you cannot use even for anything, or that sharp edge disappears. The benefit is you can use this later on to anything: your work, studies, family life, anything, social engagements, anything is possible with this. So, with this in mind, let us finish this meditation. So, we can keep it very simple as this and end up with some loving kindness meditation. Just tell yourself, okay, because we have idea of our body and everything, just tell yourself, may I be free from anger or any kind of agitation, frustration. May I be free from mental pain. May I be free from physical pain. May I live happily and peacefully. May I be free from anger. May I be free from mental pain. May I be free from physical pain. May I live happily and peacefully. May I be free from anger or anything, agitation, frustration. May I be free from mental pain. May I be free from physical pain. May I live happily and peacefully. Then think of everybody and all the animals and everybody in the entire world or universe even. May all beings be free from anger or discomfort. May all beings be free from mental pain. May all beings free from physical pain. May all beings live happily and peacefully. May all beings value their own lives and the lives of others. May all beings know what potential they have, and may all beings know the value of reality than the mirage or the deceive, the fake. Without any tool, without anything at all, can have any connection with the highest powers or the divines, anything. You can give it any name according to your belief system, and you feel connected. But all these other things are blocking you from there, blocking you from reaching your goals. That doesn't mean you have to be unhappy or anything like that. But watch something that really makes you happy, not addicted. Watch something that is wholesome and go for real happiness, real things, not the fake, not the virtual. Because at some point we have to come back to reality. Then it can become very sad and depressing because we were not in a reality. We put names calling it virtual reality, but it is not reality. When we come back and know, and we can create, because happiness comes from in from us, through us, and these things either suppress or bring it out. But without any of those, we can bring that happiness and keep it all through us. Even our body feels it. You don't have to spend hours sleeplessly or tiring your eyes or anything. And it becomes a natural thing. Whatever you see, whatever you hear, smell, taste, feel, that happiness comes out. You don't have to depend on something. And the mind becomes more and more clear, pure, and you don't need validation from people or others. Just to see whether you are doing something wrong, that's totally fine. But if you're doing nothing wrong, why do we need validation? Because we know with all those positive things in mind, use a time for self detoxification from everything and self fasting, and that brings a lot of clarity, space, peace, and happiness. Even the connection with God, according to any place in a wholesome way you want to reach. With all those pure intentions, now we can use our eyes in a better view and understanding of the reality. We can slowly bring from our hearts and minds and soul all the way to our eyes and open our eyes and take this to lighten up our entire day and everything around and to our whole life even. Okay.
That was powerful, Sanjay.
Huh, huh, huh.
Truly powerful.
It's very simple, right?
At the point, yeah, at the point there, I just got
Huh,
totally lost from the word. I just
huh, huh.
I just got to myself and was able to deal with the noise that was coming when I began.
Uh-huh.
And time it got better. Thank you so
And
much
we
for
don't
that
have to
powerful.
spend hours or spend even money, right? If we get to know this, and we are always breathing, right? And we feel our
Yeah,
body, and feel things outside. We don't
mm,
have to spend a cent, no? And you don't
exactly.
watch all those
Exactly.
things and do and pay and no.
Mm, yeah. Thank
Yeah.
you so much, Sandy.
Okay,
Thank
okay.
you. Thank you for joining. Thank
Sure,
you
sure.
for
And
today.
thank you,
Thank you
Simon,
for
for
joining.
organizing these and having these webinars or podcasts, no, and events.
Yeah,
And it's very nice to
thank you,
be with
Sandy.
you all.
Uh, Guys, thank you for joining. Thank you for staying with us. We'll be on the same podcast same time next week, and we'll still be dealing with the matter of social media addiction. We'll go deeper and look at it from perspective and bring out solutions, provable, active solutions that you can take and use to help yourself. So with that, we've come to the end of today. Thank you so much, Sandy.
Yeah,
It was
thank you so
wonderful
much.
having you.
And
Thank you.
everybody
Thank
have a
you.
wonderful day and a time. Hope to
All
see
right.
you all soon.
See you next time. All right.